Monday, Iowa will have one of the strictest abortion laws in the country. Most abortions banned beyond just 6 weeks, which pro-life advocates say is a big win. Critics point out that's before many women even know they're pregnant. So state officials and abortion advocates in neighboring Minnesota are expecting to be even more busy soon. Adam Duxter has details.
Inside this Bloomington clinic, abortion advocates and providers hope seeing what happens here can shine a light.
Sometimes the stigma that is attached to abortion care is just because people don't know what happens.
Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan defending Minnesota's right for abortion, strengthened in 2022 when 24-hour wait periods were eliminated and requirements to notify parents for abortion seekers under 18 went away.
Let me just be clear. For our friends in Iowa, you are welcome here. There are people who will provide care for you.
In St. Paul, pro-life advocates from the Minnesota Family Council say the majority of people they encounter want what they call common sense limits on abortion.
When you come down to it, you're talking about the life of a human child in the womb. And so it's distressing that people are coming here, that Minnesota has become an abortion sanctuary, that is something that we're really celebrating.
At Whole Women's Alliance, they say 1 in 5 abortions are now for patients from out of state.
Abortion is a solution to an unplanned pregnancy, and unplanned pregnancy really shines a bright light on people's lives. It has them examine their hopes and their dreams for their future.
It's Adam Duxter reporting. Data from the Minnesota Health Department shows abortions rose in Minnesota from 2021 to 2022, and national numbers higher last year than any time in the last 10 years.